Kevin Connors, thank you so much. Yes, we are expecting offense tonight. College football prime time presented by Twisted Tea. Thursday night college football brings us to Harrisonburg, Virginia, and James Madison University for a huge game in the Sun Belt East between JMU and Coastal Carolina. The Duke's high-flying offense grounded for 1 week a week ago, but they expect cannons and fireworks because this game at the halfway point of the season could be pivotal for both of these teams as JMU gets set to come back and bounce back after their first loss of the season. And when you talk about JMU and you talk about their success, second year, 2 years in, started their third year in FBS, 11 wins in 2023. They made the jump up look seamless, but with success comes notable departures. Kurt Signetti, another story by now. He's lighting it up in Indiana. Jordan McLeod transferred to the Sun Belt West in Texas State. But you heard Kevin Connors say it a moment ago, 39 points per game, leads the Sun Belt. And because of that, we expect some entertainment, as we always do here on Thursday Night College Football. With that, welcome into the booth, Dan Mullen and Matt Berry with you, Coach. The Sun Belt's called the Fun Belt for a reason, and we get that tonight. 2 4-1 teams. The atmosphere is electric, whiteout conditions, and JMU needs to bounce back from their first loss of the season. To do it, their star quarterback, Alonzo Barnett, needs to get going. Yeah, and Alonzo Barnett jumped on the national scene a couple of weeks ago. He had a 7-touchdown game against North Carolina. He follows it up with a 6-touchdown performance against Ball State. First year as the full-time starter, but he is an electric player. He can beat you with his legs. He can beat you with his arms. He's got a lot of talented receivers around him, some great tight ends, and George Pettaway, the dynamic tailback next to him in the backfield. That's why there's such an explosive offense. First year for head coach Bob Chesney. He is preaching culture here. We'll get into that coming up in a bit, but JMU really has picked up where they left off in this storied program. And the other side, year 2 for Tim Beck and Coastal Carolina. Coach, they come in 4-1 feeling really confident about what's going to happen tonight. And Tim Beck took on a program that we're used to seeing winning at Coastal Carolina, and Tim Beck's a winner, and he's brought that winning ways with him and keeping keeping it rolling. Really, the momentum going. He's got a great quarterback in Ethan Vasco. They can put up a lot of points as well. It's going to be a high-scoring, exciting battle between these two teams. And when you look at both of these schools coming in, they believe that they are the best in the Sun Belt East. Absolutely. Tonight's going to be an opportunity for them to prove that. And it's the opportunity for both of these schools jump into that lead, because you remember now, they get that conference championship game. One of these group of 5 teams is in that playoff pool at the end of the year, and it might be one of these 2 squads here. You know, we affectionately call it industry night because if you're a football fan, it's the Fun Belt for a reason. The Sun Belt is going to be off to a great start tonight. National television audience, 4-1 to start the season for the 4th time in the last 5 seasons. And the big part of it, when you come on the road to a place like JMU and Bridgeford Stadium, it's a hostile environment. You have to be confident in what you're doing. And that's where Coastal Carolina enters today. Talked to Tim Beck before the game. He said, listen, we get off the bus differently this year. Absolutely. He said, I was just talking to him on the field. He feels they're a lot bigger, they're more physical, and they have some speed in the perimeter. Look, it feels like football tonight. A fall chill is in the air, and we're going to light it up. Coming up in just a minute, Harrisonburg, Virginia. And it's just going to be a fun Thursday night. You can feel it. I talked about Bob Chesney moments ago. Harry Lyles, for him coming over year 1 from Holy Cross, he is preaching culture.
Absolutely, Matt, and obviously rattling off 4 straight wins to start off your tenure is great. They ended up losing last week to a ULM team that they were favored against, and a lot of the players that we talked to this week emphasized that culture and how important it is. It's going to be extremely important tonight, coming off of a short week in adversity. Coastal Carolina linebacker Jacob Dobbs told me that this is one of the most talented and well-schemed-up teams they will see all season. Quarterback Terrence Spence also told me that this team is resilient. He said, we welcome this adversity. This is how we want it. Coach Chesney has always talked about if you lose or win, what comes next is the work. They are ready to see if that work pays off tonight in a big Sun Belt East matchup.
We were wildly impressed with Chesney in our meetings with him. And if you've never had an opportunity to see what they bring here at James Madison, and a weeknight football game or in general, you're going to be happy you stuck around with us. Dukes are going to get the ball. Tim Beck's team's going to start on defense. So glad to be back here in the booth on a Thursday night. Sit back, relax. Let's have some fun. Let's score some points. Liam Gray will do the kicking duty for the shot to clears. Petaway and Purdy back deep. That's going to be Petaway, bringing it out 15-20. Petaway 25-30, 35-40, and there you go, field position start. It's Liam Gray, the kicker, who knocks him out of bounds. And coach, you want to give your offense good field position. We got a late flag on the play. Ted Pitts.
After the play, personal foul, 27 kicking team. That 15-yard penalty is added to the end of the run. First down.
So Spencer Kishball nailed with the penalty. You take already good field position, and now JMU's rolling here before they've taken a snap.
And their offense doesn't need all that help coming down the field with that field position to start it off. Getting a little chippy early on in the game.
How about the kicker, by the way, making the tackle? So here comes Alonzo Barnett and this Duke's offense. Situated at the 43. That's Petaway, the transfer from North Carolina, and Petaway off to a good start, brought down by Tobias Fletcher after 8.
And Petaway is a special player, a young guy that was on the bench his first year as the full-time starter, and he has lit it up if you haven't got to watch him play. I mean, when you're scoring 13 touchdowns in 2 games, those are Heisman-type numbers. Now, last week, struggled a little bit. As he continues to grow, they want to see that consistency in his performance, but he's a great passer. He can beat you with his legs as well.
They love the tight ends here for a gain of 9. There's Logan Kyle.
I like the formations early, Matt. They're going to see a lot of formations. Dean Kennedy, offensive coordinator, comes in. He's going to mix things up, move his tight ends, create matchups with his players that are advantageous for him against who's trying to defend them.
Logan Kyle along with Taylor Thompson at tight end tonight. Marion Dollison, one of the star receivers. Barnett pulls it down. Can't find anybody. Ball is on the turf, and for now, the shot to clears have recovered. Wyatt Gideon came up with it.
It was a fumble recovered by the defense.
A.J. Williams knocked it loose. And yeah, that ball's out.
That ball's out. He's got, you know, that you see it, what we say. Good decision maker for a young quarterback. Went through his whole progression. It's not there, tucks it. You see his acceleration to get through the hole and get positive yards. But he's got to put that ball away, tuck that away. Some turnovers are what caused them some issues, especially in the red zone last week.
So here comes Ethan Vasco in a big momentum shift after a great start for the Dukes. Shot to clears with the ball. Quick throw. That's Tucker. And that's the JMU defense all over him, led by Terrence Spence, one of 4 players who came with Chesney from Holy Cross.
Yeah, and Spence, watch Spence is a ball hawk. His 3 interceptions on the year are 3rd in the nation. They say he might not be the best athlete on the field, but he knows the game, and his instincts are unbelievable.
Braden Bennett in the backfield, a running back they're happy to have back. He was banged up for a large part of the season. He picks up 3. That's Chris Fitzgerald. But on the other side, walk us through Ethan Vasco.
Well, Ethan Vasco's another quarterback. He's got a great arm, some arm talent. He can really zip it. Came over from Kansas, and it's his first year as a starter as well.
And a 3rd down incomplete. So after the turnover, JMU's defense does its job. Spence on Tucker. We got a punt.
Anytime you have a turnover, the most important thing, sudden change, defense get on the field, create the 3 and out, shut down, change the momentum back to our side, and that's what the JMU defense was able to do right there.
Emil Sebafundi to punt. Ymir Knight, a talented slot receiver for the Dukes, situated at his 30. Knight, the fair catch. And already a little bit of action tonight. A turnover, nothing doing. And James Madison will get their second possession on offense. When we return, Thursday Night College Football on ESPN2. 0-0 JMU, Coastal Carolina here. Early first quarter, Matt Berry, Dan Mullen. Harry Lyles down on the field. Second possession for the Dukes after turning it over as we take a look at our impact players built by the Home Depot.
Yeah, and for the JMU offense, watch out for Amarian Dollison. He's their deep threat guy. His 25 yards per catch is second in the nation. And Shane Bruce, the linebacker for Coastal Carolina, fifth-year senior captain, all 5 years here at Coastal, Matt.
Yeah.
That is a ball. That's what I love. That's a ball player right there.
That's a guy who didn't even
Not
think
in the
about
portal, not that.
Nothing.
I love my school. I'm tough. I love this team. Love my school. I'm a Chanticleer for life.
He is a ball player. No surprise, he's a captain. Gain of 2 there on first down, 2nd and 8. Ball at the 35. Barnett, quick shot outside. That's Ymir Knight. They love him. He's quick. He's their slot. Tackled by Fletcher after 6.
And you're going to see JMU with the different players, how they utilize their players. Ymir White, he's the speed guy, talent guy. He's their true slot. They're going to get him on quick screens, option routes over the middle. Dollison, like I said, we talked about, it's their deep threat. They do a great job of utilizing personnel and put them in position to succeed.
So Wayne Knight in the backfield now, his first appearance. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Empty backfield. They're holding for Coastal to sub. That's Gorham Welch off the field. Barnett, he's going to throw 3rd and short over the middle. It's caught. Gets upfield, does Dollison. We just mentioned him a moment ago, and that's going to be a first down Dukes. Clev Lubin on the tackle, gain of 4.
This little rub route of man, you see the 2 guys coming across the field in the middle, setting the screen for Dollison to come across, kind of the pick play, if you will, or a rub across the middle of the field against man coverage, get Dollison open underneath.
Coastal defensively active with their substitutions. That's Petaway off the left side. Good cut by Petaway and a big gain, JMU 19. It's Fletcher who brings him down, and another big play for the Dukes.
Petaway does a nice job, little pin and pull action. Watch, pause and dip the shoulder to slow down the defense, then puts on the jets to accelerate on the outside. You saw him, that little pause, got Shane Bruce out of the gap, and he's able to run to the outside.
And a big block by the center. Tanner Morris sprung him. Now Tyler Purdy, another one of those Holy Cross players that came over with Chesney in the backfield. Purdy, a remarkable story, came over as a walk-on and earned a scholarship.
They told us don't expect to see Purdy bounce it outside that much, right? He's going to put his pads down. He's going to go do the dirty work and get those physical yards.
Hey, what do you do? North and south. Perfect. So 2nd and 5 now. Purdy again. Big hit down there by Sawyer Gorham Welch. Some
I think it just sounds like louder when Purdy's running the ball.
He does, yeah. He's actually seeking out the contact. So another 3rd down. So a couple of switches on the offensive line. Josh Toner moved up to left guard. Keep an eye out, that kind of an offensive line switch for both sides of the ball as Coastal continues to sub.
It's an interesting game. They do it to slow the tempo down of the offense.
Right up the middle. Mr. North and South, Tyler Purdy. A.J. Williams brings him down.
And you saw they brought in, Riley Rebel comes in after limp off at the left guard, and so they brought an inside plug blitz, maybe to confuse, and bringing in some new linemen. Good job picking it up on the inside zone, and great job by Purdy just lowering the pads, knowing the situation, and getting the first down.
Again, the theme this week for JMU, finish. Outgained ULM last week, didn't result in a win. Barnett trying to change that, goes to the end zone into double coverage. And that's a throw Barnett's lucky wasn't thrown lower, because that had problems on it.
Yeah, it did. You saw him go through the progression. They're trying to hit the wheel route, going down the sidelines. I'm not sure he's not throwing this away at the end. Keeping it high and outside of the receiver, but he's got to be careful. The safety coming over the top, he stared that down a little bit too long. But it put it in a good place where only his guy could get it.
Again, bursted onto the national scene against North Carolina, did Barnett. 7 touchdowns in that game. Right up the middle, that's the speedster Petaway, speaking of North Carolina, where he transferred in from. You could just tell these teams tonight came to play football.
And again with the subs, and you see Coastal subbing the D-line anytime they sub to try to slow the tempo down. They might get those guys tired out, though, having to run that far every play.
2 third-down conversions for JMU on this drive. 3rd and 9. Barnett. Time. Barnett wide open. First down. Yamir Knight. Third down conversion on this drive.
What a great pickup by the offensive line, picking up that pressure to give Barnett the opportunity to sit, and let Knight work on the corner route to come open. That's a mature throw by Barnett to know and let his receiver work and take his time in the pocket to let the play develop.
And credit the offensive line for allowing him that time against a defense that's been really good this year for the Chanticleers. 4 receivers out wide. Quick shot. Touchdown, JMU! George Petaway. From 9 yards out, Dukes get the scoring started.
Really good block, and they go to the quick screen. Again, get it to your playmakers. Petaway's a great athlete. Let's get him the ball different ways, get it to him on the quick screen, put it in a playmaker's hand, line the tailback up a receiver, and he takes it into the end zone.
Max Lipinski on for the extra point. You know, they moved the ball the first possession, but it resulted in a turnover. This time, 11 plays, 67 yards. JMU strikes first.
ESPN Thursday Night College Football is presented by the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Please drink responsibly.
You see some of the great Group of 5 players in history that have been Heisman finalists, including Alex Smith, who Dan Mullen coached. We're taking this opportunity because it's a Group of 5 Thursday tonight, and we just want to put out to America, because you might not see him play late. Ashton Jeanty right now is the best player in college football, and if those numbers up against Barry Sanders don't prove it, I don't know what will.
Yeah, when your numbers are in front of Barry Sanders' record-setting FBS season, you are doing something special. And it's not just from one game. It is every game. He did it against Oregon. I mean, he's a guarantee. He's almost 200 yards. He almost had 200 yards in the first half last week.
As Trey Taylor down past the 25. Let's go down to Harry.
Yeah, Matt, got a couple of injury updates for you here on the Duke sideline. The first one happened on that first fumble on the initial possession. Number 18 tight end Logan Kyle. It appears he's been getting a gash taped up on his right shin. He was testing it out. He's back in the tent getting that worked on. And then guard number 55, Riley Rebel. It appeared he hurt his right leg. He had to be helped off by 2 trainers. He is in the locker room.
Harry, thank you. We'll keep an eye on both of those guys. Offensive line depth right now for the Dukes. But 1st and 10, Shanta clears, 27-yard line. Vasco keeps it. Kyrie Mans brings him down for 2. Quickly to button up the Ginty point. Group of 5 has a spot at the table this year.
Yeah.
JMU for a while, still not out of it. Coastal Carolina. So there is some good football, and there are some good players, Heisman Trophy-worthy players, that are going to have an opportunity towards the end of the season. 2nd and 8. Vasco, time. What a throw by Vasco. Big play, shot that clears, and that's Cameron Wright. Big week a week ago, 4 catches, 148 yards, and a touchdown, and that was perfect for 25.
And a great route, little stop route. Vasco puts it where his guy can get it. Unbelievable job. All hands. Chauncey Logan can't get to the ball, uses his, you see, using size. Receivers, you want to be fast, you want to be big. What's your strength? And Cameron Wright has size, and he used it right there to box out the DB.
Big hits down there, but it's a physical football game early. Braden Bennett brought down by Chris Sheeran.
And they're going to roll these guys in the secondary. They like to play a bunch of guys here at JMU. And Sheeran, a great job reading the outside zone. Perfect fill in his gap.
Lead the Sun Belt Conference in 15 takeaways. They're stingy. Bennett, they want to get him going. You see why. Big physical back, missed 2 games with an injury, but he's been back looking good. Dobbs brings him down. Vasco to throw. 3rd down. Taking a shot. Has a receiver. What a throw. Touchdown. Shot that clears. Jamison Tucker, a captain and a former walk-on, quiets the wideout and a 40-yard score.
And again, another really good blitz pickup up front. Jamison Tucker, time to give the double move on the outside. And what a throw by Ethan Vasco to drop that in over the outside shoulder on a huge 3rd down conversion and a touchdown.
That ties a season long for Cameron Wright. And if you needed any other indication of what we're in store for here tonight at JMU, Vasco, dime, Wright, we're tied in Harrisonburg.
Let's look at this touchdown. Jamison Tucker is going to run the sluggo, a slant and go on the outside. And as you look here, Jacob Thomas, the safety, stumbles coming out of the break to be late on the throw to get over the top of the help. You see the stumble, and Vasco drops a dime. His accuracy unbelievable on that throw.
Now his accuracy wasn't unbelievable on this throw when he was trying to do a social media trend with his sister Ashley. Watch this.
Oh, poor Ashley. That was an aggressive long throw he just made on that TikTok right there.
It also tied the story. It was the season long for Coastal Carolina this year. And the shot declares are happy his accuracy was better there when he took off his sister's head, Marsha Brady style, with a football. That was amazing. All right. I think we got one tonight. 7-7 first quarter. And look, Tim Beck told us about his quarterback again. This is the program that's had a star quarterback in the past, Grayson McCall. It's the program Grayson McCall built, really.
Yeah.
And now they've turned it over to Vasco, and he's paying dividends.
You know, and Grayson McCall went to NC State this year. But it's great to see, guys. They get their opportunity. They come in and take advantage of it. Similar deal on the other side of the ball for Alonzo Barnett, and both of these guys have shined when given the opportunity.
He got a new opportunity with the new staff and Chesney and his crew that came over from Holy Cross. Staff said they loved his quick release, and they figured it out after game 2. They just had to allow Barnett to play, and we're seeing it. Ball at the 25. Pettaway. Oh, he looks like he's going to have a big game tonight. Pettaway brought down by Matthew McDoom. Gain of 11.
Timeout. Officials timeout.
And again, outside zone. And Coastal is going to have to start setting edges. They're a little bit soft on the edges right now, allowing Pettaway to get outside. They need to someone come up, set the edge, and turn the play back to the inside.
So number 79, Joseph Simmons, is down. He just came in at left tackle. There's some issues now, offensive line depth with some injuries. We have been waiting for week 7 of the college football season. Alabama tried to bounce back against the stunner at Vanderbilt. That Red River rivalry, my favorite game in college football.
Very well said.
Thank you. State Fairgrounds, Dallas, America. Now an SEC game, and then you could argue Ole Miss LSU first playoff elimination game of the year, with both of those teams coming in with a loss already.
I mean, a great SEC weekend. I'll tell you what, you know what, it just means more in the SEC. But I'll tell you what, my first time here at JMU, it means more here. This place is rocking tonight.
They love football. They love supporting their Dukes. And now Jesse Rammel. Check that, Ramil now at left tackle. Pettaway gets outside. All right, he looks good tonight. Flag on the play. Let's take a look at what happened to 79, Joseph Simmons. Again, he was in at left tackle. There's been some movement on the offensive line for both teams, and it looks like he just gets rolled up on.
Holding offense, number 89. That's a 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
See the injury.
Some friendly fire coming in behind, rolling up on his ankle.
Josh Pfeiffer called for holding. Now he's in at tight end because Logan Kyle has been taken to the locker room. One of their starting tight ends. So some early injuries we'll have to keep an eye on throughout this game. So 1st and 20 after the hold. Purdy back in the backfield. Pressure. Barnett has a man wide open and misses Ymir Knight. Dean Kennedy got the matchup he wanted, and Knight broke free, and Barnett couldn't drop it on him.
And they had the one high man-to-man on the slot, and Ymir White, that's your speedster, your slot receiver. You get him on the nickel. They took advantage of it and just overthrew him on the inside fade.
Second and 20. They'll get it right back to Knight. Coastal Carolina's defense saw it. That is Shane Bruce, the captain and Mr. Coastal.
They read that quick. They've tried to throw a couple quick screens right now, and you see the reaction. How fast Shane Bruce is reading the O-line. He sees the tackle go out there. Great job. We talk about setting the edge, and Shane Bruce sets the edge to force the play back inside to where all is help. The cavalry was coming from the inside out.
Yeah, 3rd and 22. It'll be interesting to see what Kennedy calls here. Just to run right up the middle. And that's Will Whitson. Wayne Knight brings him down. And so credit the Chanticleer's defense. They scored the big touchdown. They come right out, slow down that JMU offense.
Yeah, and a huge play there, Will Whiston. They try to trap play, trying to get the yards back. He's a guy coming back from injury. They say he's an impact player on that defensive front. And that front made an impact right there.
Ryan Hansen to punt. Trey Taylor, the speedster. 5'8", 160, but Tim Beck says get the ball in his hands and he'll make guys miss.
That's generous, 5'8", 160 right there,
We
Matt.
saw him before the game. And that just takes a lovely JMU bounce. They're trying to blow it a little further. Settles down at the 12 after a punt of 63. Kick off your week 6, NFL Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Countdown on ESPN and the app. They'll have all the early breaking stories right up to kickoff. And the Monday night game, big one in the AFC. The Bills 3-2 and the Jets. We could do an entire game on the New York Jets and everything going on out there. Monday, 8 Eastern. New head coach, new play caller. It'll be fun. Vasco gonna keep it, and they're down in the end of that student section, and it is loud for them. Travis Trickett just trying to get some yardage, to get them some room. Dobbs brings him down after 6. That's Bennett off the left side, brought down by Eric O'Neal. Gonna bring up 3rd and 3. Look at the face paint, by the way. 17, that's Gannon Weathersby, what a legend. Postal backs off the pressure. That's going to throw a man wide open. Bobbles, caught. Trey Taylor stays on his feet. That was a quick release for 14. Taylor almost bobbled and dropped it. End result, first down shots.
Great patience on the RPO right there by Vasco. It's him riding the ball into the ball carrier, sees it, comes open. Taylor comes open, he puts it on the money, and Taylor's able to keep his concentration and finish the catch for a big first down.
Vasco 4 of 5, 82 yards in the touchdown. Bennett on first down. They got some tempo going. Tries to string it outside. That's Jacob Dobbs, leader on the defense.
And Bennett's a guy they're happy to have back. Missed the last couple weeks.
So this game's living up to an advanced billing. We've got defense, we've got scoring. We've also got a tie ball game, end of 1 at JMU.
Coach, tie ball game here after a quarter. How would you evaluate your team's performance thus far?
I think okay so far. The big play, obviously, you never want that. We've done a good job, up to this point of stopping that. So we just got to make sure we stay on top of that, and then you just can't turn it over, especially down in the red zone. But I think we're doing a good job. We just got to keep pushing.
What do you want to see out of Alonzo?
I want to see him just continue to. I want him to be him. I just want him to be him. Let it fly. Be him.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Their defense is being them right now. Simeon Price by Eric O'Neal. That's going to be a loss of 4.
Going to get the crowd right back in it here.
Vasco steps up in the pocket. That is good coverage. JMU's going to force a punt. Kendall Carr, the intended receiver. Jacob Thomas was right on it.
Thomas, the guy that slipped on the play on the long touchdown pass, right there running with the tight end in coverage. Just goes right through his hands. Good coverage. Like to see him come down with that one.
I'm telling you, Vasco's putting the ball on the money tonight. I mean, even the incomplete went right through his chest. He's on one. So Sebafundi to punt again. Ymir Knight deep for the Dukes. Sebafundi was run off his spot and does just a good job to get the punt away. I don't ever want to hear punters aren't athletes.
What a great design and heads-up play. That looked like that punt was going to be blocked.
Sebafundi, I mean, for a minute you thought maybe he was going to pull it down, but he was headsy to just get this thing off.
I think that was going to be blocked. And you saw Terrence Spence coming off the edge. He had the blocked punt against North Carolina a couple weeks ago as well. And a heads-up play. You know, people say, why didn't he run? That was a long way. He just knew this was going to be blocked. I'm going to pull it down, make the guy miss, and then get the ball out of my hands as fast as I can.
Out of his feet, to be clear. And he didn't run. He didn't run because his job's to punt, and he did so. Headaway, reverse, flea flicker, down the field, wide open. Taylor Thompson. Boy, they love this tight end. About 12 people touched the ball there, and a gain of 33.
What an aggressive play call. On the reverse, back to the quarterback, sneak the tight end out late. You see Cam Ross clearing it out for him down the sideline, and they lose Taylor Thompson going down the side on the wheel route for an explosive play.
Already in coastal territory. Barnett to throw again. Keeps his eyes downfield. Takes another shot. Oh, and just misses. That's their deep threat, Amarian Dollison. And he just overthrows his speedy receiver.
And you watch him try to hold on to the ball to the final second. And that's Will Whitson again, causing the pressure, forcing Barnett to throw the ball a fraction of a second before he wanted to. And you see the ball's just slightly overthrown off the outstretched hands of their speedster Dollison.
That's 2 misses tonight on the deep ball, 1 to Ymir Knight. You're already seeing Whitson, who missed a couple of games, paying dividends for the Chanticleers. Pitch outside, that's Petaway. Plenty of space. Petaway getting them in chunks. That's 19. Barry Brown and A.J. Williams pop him out.
Look, quick speed option to the outside, pitching off the end man of the line of scrimmage, the defensive end. Great job by Barnett, taking it to the D end, eating him up and pitching the ball. And Petaway he's explosive play. They keep getting the edge, and at some point, Coastal's going to have to set the edge on their defense to turn things back inside.
Petaway averaging just under a first down per touch, 9.8 yards per carry. Barnett takes a shot over the middle, caught, touchdown. Taylor Thompson, this was his drive, coach.
Absolutely. What a great ball placement and catch by Taylor Thompson. The play took a little bit longer to develop, and you see Barnett sticking with it, staring it down, and he gets it in just in time.
2-point conversion, jump pass. What in the world is happening here at JMU? My goodness. Josh Pfeiffer.
That's the 3rd one this year on extra points that they have taken and gone for 2 with the PAT field goal team. Great touchdown pass where your guy can go get it up high, and then why not get the bonus points? Flip it over, little jump pass. Who loves the jump pass?
Oh, man. I've got Taylor Thompson for a helmet sticker on that drive.
Well, huge drive. Thompson with catch of 33 on the flea flicker. Finishes it off with a catch of 25 on the touchdown.
And
then throw a Petaway 19-yard run in the middle, and you got a quick score.
And Thompson was involved in the 2-point conversion. Christian Washington deep to receive for the Chanticleers. And coach, you talk about big plays for a big play offense. We saw him last drive for James Madison.
Absolutely. And the great throw here, though, for the touchdown. And you just see him get the ball just in time before Tobias Fletcher, the safety, comes over. But I love the jump pass. Everybody loves a jump pass, man.
You know, when you called that with Tebow, it was a great play.
Yeah.
But Tebow's timing was all off.
Well, you know, we just saw the jump pass there. He's got a double clutch. That wasn't as dramatic. Tebow wanted to make it dramatic, so he did the double pump.
That's unlike Timmy to make something dramatic. All right, so first, these quarterbacks are going back and forth. Vasco's been putting them on a dime. JMU's defense starting to wake up a little bit. Simeon Price, the ball carrier. Emmanuel Bush, first Duke there.
And one difference in the game that you've seen so far is the ability to stop the run by JMU. But Ethan Vasco's been able to overcome it with his accuracy throwing the ball.
1.9 yards per carry for the Chants. Complete opposite situation on the other side of the ball for JMU. Vasco pulls it, flag down, easy call, PI. Intended for Jamison Tucker, who had the big play earlier. Justin Eaglin, the guilty party.
Pass interference, defense, number 8. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
That was another RPO, and Vasco right on the money with the throw again. He's got there a little early, grabbing him, or might have been an explosive play.
That's their guy that got it earlier, the touchdown, 12-yard penalty. That's Bryson Graves in motion. Vasco fakes it to him, looks up top, overthrows Tucker. 13, Jordan Taylor was there. I mean, both these offenses tonight, Travis tricking on this side, they're not being shy about taking shots. They're gonna score some big plays.
No, they're the two top scoring offenses in the Sun Belt. But you know, when you're on that sidelines, you also know the other team can score points. So you got to let it go, and you're gonna know we're gonna have to score some points tonight. Let's be aggressive.
8 plays of 20-plus yards a week ago. 10 different Chanticleers caught a pass. Vasco, speed option. He's going to throw. The receiver falls. That was intended for Tucker. That was Kyrie Duplessis. We've had reverses, we've had flea flickers, we've had 2-point jump passes.
Here's the option pass. Great discipline on the back end of reading that, seeing it's coming. Looked like DJ Barksdale there.
Screen set up, intercepted. Lloyd Summerall the third. We have a thick 6. We have reached peak Sunbelt. Lloyd Summerall has this place rocking.
What a great job by Summerall on the twist, reads the screen, steps in front of it. The Florida Gator transfer coming off the edge, making the play. He's big, good-looking athlete, and you saw it, not just his athleticism catching it, but putting it in the end zone as well.
Big fella. I'm just telling you, we've seen a little bit of everything. And when a big fella gives us a thick 6 on a Thursday, you know it's going to be a good one. 22-7 Dukes.
There's the Taco Bell Live Mass student section all season long. Student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live Moss student section of the year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more.
It's the second time you've almost said Live Mass.
Live Mass, Live Moss.
Come on.
That's so bad. I'm going to tell you what, this student section, they're living Moss tonight here.
They are.
They bring Moss here.
This place is special. JMU has scored 15 points in the last 70 seconds. That was their third defensive touchdown of the season.
Vasco started 4 for 5. Accurate throws. Missed his last 3 with that interception. They just need to settle down on the sidelines and come back and try to put a drive together here.
You know what I love about tonight? We've seen in college football already this year, there is no lead that's too insurmountable to come back from. But James Madison, they've lit it up tonight. Big plays, get it going. Petaway got the scoring going first, but then you had the big touchdown to Tucker, and then you had the big one to the tight end.
Well, it's the explosive plays on offense, moving the ball. They're stopped at the time. They also have a turnover in the red zone. But when you score, that's their third defensive touchdown of the season. They put up points. They take the ball away in chunks. And they did it again here tonight.
So Thompson the touchdown rather to get the scoring going. Vasco on first down, can't find anybody, keeps his eyes downfield. That's a dangerous throw over the middle, intended for Seneca McKee. Eaglin on the coverage. Check that Kai Holmes. He's got to be careful with the ball.
Great coverage on the back end right there. I like the call. A little easy. Let's move the pocket, try to get an easy throw. But the tight, sticky coverage from JMU, there was nowhere to go with the ball. He needs to be careful. Throw that one away and live to play the next play.
Vasco not active in the run game to this point. A handoff right up the middle. And JMU's defense, Eric O'Neal on the tackle. They've done a good job, coach, and those runs right up the middle, they're right there.
Well, that's what we're talking about. If you take away the run, you're going to put the pressure on Vasco. And they're one of the top teams forcing turnover. You see it, #1 in the country. 11 of those 16 turnovers are interceptions. You want a winning recipe? Lead the nation in turnover ratio.
Just 1.7 yards per rush for Coastal. Third and 9, up the middle, not fooled. Jacob Dobbs has been active, and that's going to be for 6. Simeon Price on the run, and for now, Tim Bagmount. Now they're going to run the punting unit out now. Curious by that call.
Yeah, well, here's what happens, and a lot of people are like, oh, why are you doing that? There's a big blitz look coming. Your quarterback is a little bit unsettled right now. Has missed his last couple throws. Let's not make a critical error. And see, you saw the shoestring tackle there. Yeah. If you hit a run play the right way against a blitz, you have the chance to pop it and possibly pick up the first down. Not the fans' favorite, though, when they see you do that.
Ymir Knight at the 30. Makes the first player miss. Good return by Knight. Punt of 38. Return of 17. Miles Woods brings him out. JMU, they again 15 points in the last 70 seconds. Not a fight like we're going to have UFC Fight Night exclusively on ESPN Plus Saturday for the Apex in Las Vegas. Prelims 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, followed by the main card highlighted by flyweight main events. Excited for that one again exclusively on ESPN Plus. So we expected to see a package tonight from JMU. Their true freshman J.C. Evans. Dean Kennedy told us he's a big player. They wanted to get him in tonight. Here he is.
6'5", 211. He's a pretty looking athlete.
Early snap. Flag down.
Flag on the play.
False start, 66 offense. That's a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And that didn't last long. J.C. Evans already off the field. Last week, 11 penalties for JMU, coach. 9 of them were on the offense.
Yeah, that hurt. And you know, it's a lot of times you change a quarterback, it changes up the rhythm. But they're using the clap. I mean, you just clap your hands and snap the ball. So it shouldn't have been an effect. But they're going to try to get him back in. I wouldn't be surprised pretty soon.
Dean Kennedy in our meetings. He takes a lot of his offensive influence from you and your offense. We'll talk about that more later as Barnett slides his feet, has a receiver, throws it into double coverage. Led number 1, Cam Ross, back into the coverage, and Matthew McDoom was there, and Barnett got away with one.
Yeah, McDoom made that one scary right there, Matt.
Well done.
Throwing it up, but you have to be more careful. That's not very good grammar right there. That's as bad as that decision of making that throw into double coverage late down the middle of the field. Can't do that, especially when you're in an advantageous situation. You have a lead, you have good field position, need to take care of the ball, and they'll coach that in the young quarterback.
JMU is an institution of higher learning. More careful would get you kicked out of class. Barnett across the middle. Coastal, good job corralling Ymir Knight. He's an active 5'8", 180 as Will Whitson there after 5. Now, early on, we saw Coastal subbing a lot. They've kind of gotten away from that a little bit.
Yeah, and you're going to wear out your D linemen constantly. If they were trying to do it to match personnel groupings and run D line on and off the field. But heck, these big guys are going to look at coach and say, hey, they're not running tempo anyway. We don't need to slow the tempo down. Stop making me run that sprint all the way to the sideline.
So 3rd and 10. And the Chants force a punt. Showing pressure. Quick shot. Taj Hudson breaks away. Hudson is going to get the first down.
Number 19 with the complete catch.
And you saw the Barnett, the maturity and what he's able to do right here. You called it. They're showing pressure. They have everybody up. How do you attack the pressure? Throw a quick screen, get the ball out of your hands fast. He does. Gets the ball to Hudson. He does the rest. First explosive play, first down, move the chains, keep the drive alive.
Taji Hudson got out of the A.J. Williams tackle. And now another 3rd down conversion. 19 on 3rd and 10. Barnett, quick shot. But they like Ymir Knight tonight. Fletcher brings him down. He's been active, gain of 12.
Another RPO, just reading that defender out that's playing the apex player, plays between the slot and the line of scrimmage. He squeezes in for the run. You take the little easy throw to the outside. They don't mind. They're doing a good job spreading the ball. These receivers, they have 3 guys, and they like to spread the ball around, as well as the tight ends.
6th target of the night for Knight, 5th reception. Barnett, quick shot, 1-on-1. And they are going tempo. That is Dollison, and it is danger zone here for the Chants after 14.
Another RPO. When you have this many receivers, too, and it is great to see that Barnett's not going to force it to one guy. If you're going to roll the coverage one way, I'll throw the RPO the other way. And it doesn't matter which receiver. I like my guys. I'm going to get them the ball.
5 passes this drive, no runs. We asked Kennedy what his goal is. He said to stress the defense, and they're doing it. It's Purdy for 4.
And this is a critical area. The red zone is where they struggled a little bit last week. And you know Coach Chesney, they want to see you get in the red zone. You don't want just to come away with points. You want to come away with touchdowns. And I know that's big emphasis that they've made this week. They felt that was a real turning point in the game last week, not scoring touchdowns when they got into the red zone.
Barnett, eyes to the right, comes back left, keeps it. Barnett spins. Barnett scores. Sunbelt's top offense is throwing up a number in the first half.
What an effort by Barnett. Made the first guy miss, breaks a tackle, keeps his feet going, protects the ball. We saw him loose with the ball earlier, protects the ball. Looks like he got it into the end zone. They're slowing it down this time. They went quick on the last PAT. They're not going to let them go quick this time.
Yep, they're going to take a look.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
All right, so our replay official tonight.
There's a lot of fans, I think, disagree with the thought of reviewing that call. They saw the Jumbotron, and they've already decided they think Barnett scored. I just heard that from the crowd.
Colin back at a replay official. Let's have a look here. They're going to be looking at that right knee. Was the right knee down prior to the extension over the goal line? We have our rules analyst, Matt Austin, again with us tonight to provide some clarity. We'll get with him on this one. Matt Austin, what do you see?
Well, this is another extremely close one. Originally, I thought that he was short, but looking through his back, you really can't see the furthest tip of the ball. So I would really be kind of surprised if they took the touchdown off the board.
So you look, the right knee, you can see just the tip right over the goal line. What are you ruling, Coach?
I'm going touchdown. I'm going touchdown. I think he got the tip in, and there's nothing that would make you think that the ball didn't cross the plane.
After further review, the ruling of the field of touchdown stands.
There we go.
There we go. He agreed.
So they reviewed it. It was close, but it stands. And right now, it is 28-7 JMU. So Lipinski on for the extra point. 29-7.
The explosive plays have been huge, but great patience. Barnett goes through all of his reads, makes a guy miss, lowers the pad, the toughness, the energy, gets the ball into the end zone. Touchdown.
$22-0 second quarter for JMU as we take a look at tonight's player spotlight, brought to you by Lexus.
Yeah, and Alonzo Barnett, when he gets going, we talked about it, when he gets going, he is a special player. 149 yards through the air, the 2 touchdowns. That last rushing touchdown right there, he puts up points in a hurry for offenses.
This is a big possession for Coastal Carolina. They need points. They get the ball to start the second half. So they'll need to put something up here, get some points, and maybe a little momentum and a 2-for-1. And that ball did bounce into the end zone for a touchback as we check in with Harry.
Matt, you know, when we spoke with Ethan Vasco earlier this week, we asked him what were the things that you learned from Grayson McCall, who obviously led this Coastal Carolina team for years. He said it was the leadership, but specifically being good around the guys when things were going good and when things were going bad. When I was watching him over on the sideline during that last possession, he was calm, watched some film, made sure he told his receivers, hey, let's go, we're going to be all right. He shook everybody's hand. We'll see what they piece together here on offense.
Just 11 runs, 23 yards. But we also saw Miami last week come back from 25 down on the road. It's been a weird college football season at this point. And there we said, you got to get Vasco going in the running game, and that's why. He's been quiet all night with his feet. You see Vasco get this drive started and a gain of 29.
Great job on the quarterback counter. We said that the problem with not running the ball or getting production out of the run game, making yourself one-dimensional, has been the difference, and that's a huge drive starter for Vasco.
29 for Vasco there. They just had 23 yards prior. Vasco to throw. And Tucker didn't even know if he had that or not. It's going to be ruled incomplete. Terrence Spence, he was there. Spence, a great story, entered the portal after his last season at Holy Cross, wanted to play up. And then when Chesney got the job here, he's like, I don't even think about it. I'm going to go play with you at JMU.
Absolutely, and he's their smart playmaking guy. Those are the things, though, the drop passes. When you're trying to make this comeback, listen, Coastal can put up a lot of points. one of the top scoring, second leading scoring offense in the conference. But you need to make the simple plays.
Vasco to run again, set up the quick option, and JMU is right there. Trey Taylor gets popped by Chauncey Logan and a loss of 1. Now 3rd and long.
And the D coordinator for JMU, Lyle Hemphill, said, hey, we know this team has an option base to as they run option football. We're going to be prepared for the triple option looks they give us, and they were right there. They took all 3 options away on that run play.
Trips down to the bottom of your screen. 3rd and 11. Vasco over the middle. What a catch. Ball's on the turf. Bryson Graves. And they rule it incomplete.
Throwing on the field is an incomplete pass. 4th down.
And that's the 2nd big drop this drive for Coastal.
And a great throw. Vasco again. Ooh,
I don't know about
that's
that.
close.
Yeah.
That's close. Graves didn't sell it, though. He kind of walked off the field. Usually you want to sell it a little bit more.
I'm not sure about that. Let's bring in our rules analyst, Matt Austin. Matt Austin, what are you seeing here?
I think this is an incomplete pass. He does look like he has firm control originally. He does get a body part down, but he didn't fulfill the time factor. Before he could get a 2nd or 3rd foot down and make a football act, the ball came out. So I think that's a good incomplete pass call.
Delay game, offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
They took the delay of game there, making sure the replay had all the time to look at it. Instead of wasting a timeout to challenge it or to force them to look at it, take the delay of game, use that on the punt. But it's the drop passes, the little things. You want to make a comeback, the little things are important.
Yeah, those were costly. They had a drive going after the Vasco 29-yard run, stalled because of drops and a forced punt. So 29-7 JMU, and again, their defense has been good all season. First in Sun Belt, 15 takeaways.
Absolutely, they create the turnovers, they do it. They stop the run, they force you to throw the ball. They're physical in the defensive front. You see the screen pass, Big Lloyd Summerall with the pick 6.
Hey, look
there
at
he was back in the day with his dad on the recruiting visit. That was like a viral picture. His dad, I'm getting all dressed up for the commitment. There we were.
And his dad dressed in all Gators gear. Barnett. Oh, dangerous throw. Coastal had an opportunity to pick that one off. Matthew McDoom was there. But I remember that pick. What's his dad's name?
They went as Big Dog Summerall, and they made a recruiting page for him. It went viral on that. I think they named him. He was the first 6-star official recruit out there. Great guy. There was a lot of fun. You know what? You have fun on those visits. The parents, everybody gets in on the photo shoot, have a great time with the families. That was a fun one. People loved that pick.
And Barnett's loving that one fell incomplete. Didn't have a turnover as Petaway. He's had a big first half, has Petaway. Missed tackle by Tobias Fletcher results in 17 and a first down.
Petaway does such a great job of changing up his tempos during the run. Slow, then he accelerates. 1 foot in the ground, makes a miss. You'll see him. He'll slow something up and accelerate. You see that when he accelerates 1 foot in the ground and vertical. Does a really good job of mixing that tempo up and creating missed tackles and getting to the next level.
4 runs of 10+ yards. Same recruiting class as Omarion Hampton at UNC. Barnett's pass tipped. And they had their eyes up. That could have been a pick 6. DeMonte Diggs and Fletcher were there. It falls incomplete.
That's great. Good awareness by Diggs. They've thrown that quick hitch on the RPO a couple times. You see right here, he realizes RPO, quarterback pulls the ball, get the hands up. You're not going to get a sack, get the hands up.
Barnett keeps it. Coastal there, and a good job recognizing that. A.J. Williams brings down Barnett after one. So a big third down here for Coastal Carolina. They've got all 3 timeouts, and again, they get the ball to start the third quarter.
They need a stop. Where's the momentum going to come from on this team? You had the 2 drops. JMU's 4 for 5 on third down. They're seizing every bit of momentum in this game, and Coastal needs to find someone to step up and make the play.
Pressure. Barnett slips out of it. Keeps his eyes downfield, and a big hit on the sidelines, inbounds.
Barnett with the carry.
Gain of 7, and going to be short of the first down. DeMonte Diggs got there. Have another look.
That's good football.
And that's a good stop for Coastal. We just said a minute ago how they needed it. You right. Good football, good clean tackle. He was still in bounds. Good no call by the official.
And the 4th and 2's tricky. Tim Beck could take one of his 3 timeouts here to save this time for his offense.
But now 3 timeouts to 2-minute timeouts. They can stop the clock 4 times. Hansen to punt. And a fair catch. So big opportunity here for the Chanticleers to get back in this game after a punt of 49. We'd said at the outset, a big one here in the Sun Belt East, with right now it's crowded up there. Marshall, Georgia Southern, Coastal Carolina. JMU goes down a week and go to Monroe, who's 2-0 over there at the West. You got Texas State on that side, Louisiana on that side.
Yeah, and then Monroe with the upset of JMU was the huge surprise in the conference last week. But JMU knows they're right there. They're alive in the East. They want to get back to the Sun Belt Championship game, and they're in a great position to go do that. That could be a wake-up call for them last week's game.
So what does Ethan Vasco have in store? That throw behind Tucker, and another drop by Coastal's receivers. Middle of the field was open.
Yeah, and that one's on Vasco. You know, it's that, like we keep saying, momentum. Who's the guy going to step up? Vasco put 2 on the money. They were dropped. This one is behind the receiver. They just need to take a deep breath, calm down. Let's execute the offense. Execution's key in a short week.
7 straight incomplete passes. Low snap. Vasco trying to get out of the tackle. Gets a little bit of something, maybe 1 yard out of that. Kai Holmes there, and now it's going to be a 3rd and long. Vasco, incomplete, forced it into double coverage to Seneca McKee. And again, Coastal's offense shut down by that JMU defense. Trent Hendrick, Jordan Taylor on the coverage, but the pressure was there in Vasco's face.
Yeah, they just turned Eric O'Neal loose off the edge right there. And it was the alignment. They went with an overload look on the defensive line, for the defensive line, caused some confusion, and O'Neal comes free off the edge.
It's their 5th punt in the last 7 drives, and Knight returns it into JMU territory. Check that Coastal territory. And so we are at the 2-minute timeout. James Madison with the ball, up 29-7 in all 3 timeouts.
Kevin Connors in studio coming up at the half. Sam Acho, Trevor Madicher here. We'll get the guys' thoughts on what they've seen in our first half. Plus, look ahead to the Red River rivalry. And Matt, you talked about it, the out-of-this-world season Ashton Genty is having. We'll give it some historical perspective when you join us at the half.
No one better at the half than Kevin Connors, and I know my man well. I know he's got a TV with the Yankees on in there. He's not fooling anyone. with the halftime report. As Petaway takes it right up the middle. Mike Diesenhoff producing tonight. I believe he'll keep him straight.
You can never score enough points in the first half. And you know Coach Chesney, they want to keep going. They want to get some points on the board before half. We've seen it all year. Leads aren't big, especially you have an explosive offense like the Chants have that they can come back in the second half. You want that lead.
We saw Alabama was up 28-0 on Georgia. Georgia comes back second half to take the lead. You saw that I gave you the example of Miami earlier. There's going to be a flag on the play. Not the best start for the Dukes on this drive.
And that'll drive Coach.
Ball start, 76 offense. That foul carries a 10-second subtraction. JMU has chosen. Please subtract 10 seconds from the clock.
Okay, so they didn't use one of their 3 timeouts.
That'll drive Coach Chesney nuts, though. When you're over there, you have the opportunity right now. You see it like, hey, we're up big.
We'll start on my signal.
We're up big. Let's keep it going. Keep your foot on the gas.
Now 2nd and 15 after the penalty. And 10 seconds less on the clock. Barnett, quick shot outside. Great defensive play by Wyatt Gideon, intended for Ross. That could have gone the other way quick.
Now it turned things around quickly right here before halftime. He just doesn't see him dropping out right underneath it. Gotta be careful with this ball. He's made some great throws and great plays, but he's put the ball in harm's way a couple times tonight.
Gideon, a huge game last week. A sack, a tackle for loss, a pick, a forced fumble, and almost a big pick there. So 3rd and long. Barnett runs right into the pressure, gets out of it, and he skips that one. Good job by Coastal's defense. They had their backs against the wall just before the half. Now they're going to get the ball with 3 timeouts.
Huge stop, huge 3 and out. It's halftime, you're down. They have great field position. You need to come up with a stop. The false start changes a little momentum, puts JMU behind the chains, and you shut the door.
So what we've seen already in the first half is Trey Taylor deep to receive the punt. You've got 56 seconds, 3 timeouts, the 2nd consecutive forced punt. How are you calling this next drive?
You want points. Vasco, they're looking at everybody, and you say, hey, right before halftime here.
That probably changes it.
You want to come away, but you still want to try to come away with points. Listen, only way to throw a 99-yard touchdown pass is to throw the ball from back to the wall right here, Matt. Be aggressive when you're back to the wall.
Well done.
Actually, he's out at the 3. But here's the thing, Matt. It's not touchdown. You just want points. Even if you get away with it, get the ball to start the second half. Let's try to create a momentum swing and see if we can get 2 scores.
You're down 29-7. You got 46 seconds left. You start the 3rd quarter with the ball. They're going to need to get themselves some yards to create some breathing room. Ball's on the 3. And they get just that on 1st down. Now you can go, and a big gain there by Braden Bennett, who's been bottled up in the first half. That's a gain of 12. That's a good drive starter. Not using the timeout. Low snap, quick throw, able to get it to his receiver, Cam Wright. That's Chauncey Logan there, brings him down, only 2 on the game.
Looks like they might just let it run out here, if not. And they didn't take the timeout after the 1st down. Should go to half, regroup, get the ball to start the second half. Well, they can score a lot of points and put it up, and they started fast before the JMU defense came alive.
We expected a good game tonight. Barnett, 3 total TDs for the Dukes, and they lead big, 29-7 at the half. Here's Kevin Connors. College football prime time presented by Twisted Tea here at James Madison University. The friendly city not being so friendly to their visitors from Coastal Carolina tonight. Whiteout conditions, 29-7. JMU, we welcome you back in the booth. Dan Mullen, Matt Berry with you. JMU stubs their toe a week ago against ULM. Tonight, this is the team we saw, especially in that third and fourth game. They look explosive.
It was a tight quarter, 7-7 at the end of the first, exploding for 22 points in the second quarter. Alonzo Barnett, the player we were expecting to see. He's a guy that puts up a lot of touchdowns, both with his arms and his legs. Started early with a quick screen, makes a great throw, hits his tight end down the middle of the field. Great ball placement, and then finishes it. We get the pick six. And we always love the big man pick six.
We love a big man pick six. So right now, Coastal Carolina, they get the ball to start the third quarter. They need to come up with some semblance of points to stay in this one to shut down Alonzo Barnett and JMU, who had him in the yardage game, 265 to 148. And look, we knew that it was going to be about that explosive offense, kind of stymied themselves a week ago. But to Coastal's credit, they came out good as well. They just had some drop passes to stop their momentum in the first half.
Yeah, they struggled running the ball, but started to get it going with Vasco running the football and then killing momentum with the drop pass or a missed throw.
Let's check in with Harry Lyles.
Yeah, guys, I spoke with Tim Beck coming out of the locker room. I said, hey, what'd you guys tell your guys at half? He said, our best would win the football game. We're not playing our best right now. We need to get small victories in the second half if we're going to come through. That's why they play 4 quarters of football, but we have to play 4 quarters of football, guys.
Harry, I am proud of you, but I'm so disappointed in you.
Why is that?
Coach Tim Beck said a number of his players are in the doghouse after the first half.
Hey, honestly, the reason I'm in here, guys, it's getting pretty cold down here. My watch says it's 48 degrees. I'm about to go find a heater.
Soft.
A little bit. Come on, Coach, we're from the South.
Yeah.
Soft.
Yeah, you like that warm weather.
First down, and Coastal's going to have to get that run game going. Bennett, he was shut down there in the first half for just 24 yards. That brings him up to 7 carries, 27 yards. I said it early. Ethan Vasco in this run game can make the offense and give him a little bit of momentum.
Absolutely. If to get the running game going, they need to involve him. And when they do run the ball, it will open everything else up for them.
Bennett again, they're sticking to it. That's going to bring up a third and short, third and medium. Chris Sheeran brings down Bennett. So now 3rd and 4. And you look at what JMU's defense has been able to do to Tim Beck and his offense in a big early 3rd down. Vasco off the mark, intended for Tucker, and they just can't move the chains, Coach.
Yeah, Kyrie Mann's got pressure. Even in a quick game throw, was able to get pressure, causing Vasco to sail the ball over his head. And it's just the rhythm. When Vasco was on early, they looked sharp. Then he had some drops, and now he's missed a couple of throws over the head, and they just aren't getting into a rhythm. And I think you said, I'd like to see them run him to get him back in the flow and to establish the running game a little bit.
4th 3 and out this game. Sebafundi to punt, flag down. That's Ymir Knight, 25-yard line, 30 to the 35. A 44-yard punt, 11-yard return. Let's check the penalty. I mean, it was 3rd and 4, so anything looks as if
It looks like they're checking with
JMU. Yeah.
JMU.
Illegal formation, kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the dead ball spot. First down, JMU.
So how would you talked about it briefly there a moment ago coming out of the half, but based on what we saw out of James Madison last week in the loss on the road to UL Monroe, how would you assess this first half and what they were able to come out and do?
I think they're the team we expected to see, and I think that hiccup last week is something that they can build off of. You're a coach, you're going to take that and build off of. They had the huge win over North Carolina They put up massive points against Ball State. They're getting all those pats on the back walking around campus, and it's a teaching moment for the coaches. Don't make that us.
End around. Jaden Mines makes a man miss. Mines' first touch of the game is worth it. Missed tackle by Matthew McDoom, and a gain of 24.
I love the call. Come out with a reverse play, because you're preaching your guys. We got to keep going. Foot on the gas. Let's go out there and play. And you know what, as a coach, hey, I'm going to come out with an explosive play call to show you how serious we are. Let's keep this going in the second half.
You know, we get the unique perspective of talking to these coaching staffs every week, and we're the short week game because you play on Thursdays. And we asked Coach Chesney about that, about the short week. He's like, hey, not for us. We want to get that taste out of our mouth. This is a good thing for us.
Absolutely.
They're showing it early. Had away a big first half. Brought down after Braylon Ryan and 2.
And back to that reverse, you always think of coaches, hey, we're going to go after him. We're going to be aggressive. Let's keep attacking, keep attacking. And, hey, hand it off up the middle. You know, I mean.
Officials timeout.
That's Braylon Ryan. He made the tackle. He's down on the field.
If you want your team to be aggressive, you need to be aggressive as a coach. And I think I'm impressed with this coaching staff. Really impressed with this coaching staff. Coach Chesney, it's an amazing, came up through the ranks. You see a lot of guys get their opportunity. He's been a head coach a long time.
Yeah, let's talk about Chesney here and his coaching ascent, because a lot of times, I mean, we look at Coach, I take you as an example, coordinator at Bowling Green with Urban. You guys go to Utah. You're the offensive coordinator there. You move up to a big school at Florida. You go to Mississippi State. And that's kind of your journey. Bob Chesney's journey through the ranks, I mean, it's interesting with where he's been.
Yeah, I mean, he became a head coach at a young age at Salve Regina, won there, went to Assumption College. Everyone said you can't win there, won there. Holy Cross, 3-time coach of the year. He's had a great career, and you don't always see people jump up the ranks from small schools to big schools, winning the 5 Patriot League titles. He's a winner, but winners win.
And Barnett throws. Thrower's throw does just that. Hang out for a nice lunch. It's Courtney Eubanks. He's just not in a good spot right now.
No, and you see Coach, I mean, look at him. First thing Coach saying, hey, just look at me. The emotions got to you on the field. Just look at me, calm yourself down. Because this is a moment not just as a player, but as a man.
Yeah. Look at see the coach
there
back.
It is.
I mean, tough love. It's going to be okay at some point, but right now it is all Alonzo Barnett and the Dukes, 36-7.
The new 12-team college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
The new 12-team college football playoff will have a representative from the group of 5. Is the highest ranked group of 5 conference champions. All conference champions get in. The 4 highest ranked, they get the first round bye. It is indeed a new era in college football as
Barnett sticks with the play. Receiver works to get open in the back of the end zone, keeps his eyes downfield, doesn't panic, knows it's 4th down. You have to make the throw. Don't go run out of bounds. We saw that last week in a situation. Throw it up, let your guy try to make the play on 4th down, and he does.
Another flag on the play.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 2 defense. That's his second unsportsmanlike conduct. He has been disqualified. The foul will be taken on the kickoff.
It's Courtney Eubanks. He's just not in a good spot right now.
No, and you see Coach, I mean, look at him. First thing Coach saying, hey, just look at me. The emotions got to you on the field. just look at me, calm yourself down. You know, because this is a moment not just as a player, but as a man.
Yeah. Look at see the coach
there
back.
It is.
I mean, tough love. It's going to be okay at some point, but right now it is all Alonzo Barnett and the Dukes, 36-7.
The new 12-team college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
The new 12-team college football playoff will have a representative from the group of 5. Is the highest ranked group of 5 conference champions. All conference champions get in. The 4 highest ranked, they get the first round bye. It is indeed a new era in college football as we take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Capital One. Texas back up at number 1 after Alabama drops to 7 after losing to Vanderbilt. 2 versus 3 this week. That's going to be a hell of a game between Ohio State and Oregon.
It will be, and it'll be a defining one to see who. I think one is somebody's going to come out and say we are the contender for the national championship. It's going to be really interesting to see. That top 10 looks a lot different this week than it did last week, and we expect it'll be. I think it'll look very different again this time next week.
Let's see if Vasco and Coastal Carolina can get it going. That's Bennett on first down. There's another flag on the play. Went pretty clean in the first half. Now second half here, some flags are piling up. You know, back to those rankings. When you, we'll let Ted Pitts make the call here.
Holding, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
You know, we've been covering, you've been in college football your whole life. I've been covering it for 20 plus years. And
force from the end of the run, first down.
It always entertains me how people will still say, oh, this is a weak slate, this slate's awful. They were saying that about week 6, and how many times do you need to be taught that when you say that is the weekend we get the upsets? 6 top 11 teams go down a week ago. This chaos reigns supreme. Vasco, danger, picked. Tip pick ended up in Terrence Spence's hands. KJ Flo the tip. And it is just not the shot to clear's night.
Great concentration. Pressure getting Vasco off the spot. Takes a chance. Great job, tip drill. And what they say about Terrence Spence, it might not look like when he's out there, he's not the fastest, most athletic guy, but he is in the right spot at the right time all the time. His 4th interception on the season.
Yeah, it was one of 18 players in the country with 3 interceptions, making 4. And Vasco 1 for his last 11 with 2 interceptions. And JMU came in leading the Sun Belt takeaways. You could put a couple more on their tally for the season after tonight. Pettaway trying to stretch it. Probably grabbed a face mask. What we saw up here. Will Whitson brings him down.
They're going to get him on a hold, it looks like.
Hold, 77 offense. A 10-yard foul being forced from the previous spot. We'll replay first down.
Harry.
Matt, Terrence Spence was actually one of the guys that I spoke with during the week. He said they felt like they weren't themselves last week. He said, I think that comes down to really just effort and playing hard. We went back, watched the film. I think that's on us and something that we can definitely change this upcoming week. And clearly, him and the rest of the Dukes have shown up this week.
Yeah, and Harry, I think it's obvious. We were watching that game in studio last week when we were in studio on Saturday. And it just looked like they were kind of knocked off their swagger a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they jumped out to an early 10-0 lead. And then you just kept waiting for them to get going, and it was a turnover in the red zone that led to, you know, was a pick 6 the other way. They didn't convert on some 4th downs, and they just couldn't seem to get it going. And when you're playing against good football teams, you see it every week in college football.
Yeah.
Especially when you're playing a conference game. If you don't bring your A game, you are going to be in trouble. And we saw it for the bunch of teams last week. And saw the big one in Nashville last week.
That's a good point.
You're not just going to say, okay, let's turn it on in the 4th quarter. You got to show up and play.
We focused a lot on Alabama, Missouri going down. Michigan goes down on the road. USC goes down on the road. Those are the notable upsets. But JMU went into that game a 2-touchdown favorite and lost on the road. And Barnett sacked. That's a big one. And Will Whitson's had a good football game.
He's had a night. He's been banged up, and they said getting him back, Tim Beck said getting him back is huge for this defense. And these are little things. You know, a guy like that, the leadership of, hey, I'm going to come out. I'm one of our better. I'm one of our better players, and I'm going to continue to play hard for fourth quarter. It's not our night right now, but the effort is going to be there, and you know Tim Beck's going to show that and talk about playing with effort for fourth quarter.
Cole Potts got beat, 5th tackle of the night for Whitson, and now it's going to go from 3rd and 23 to 3rd and 28.
58 offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Oh, left his mic open. There we go. That's $1. The whole stadium's deaf now from the whistle mic. 3rd and 28. Try to get some of it back. Maybe flip the field. Maybe go for it. We'll find out. Or maybe get to 28. I mean, when it's going for Cam Ross and the Dukes, it is going. I mean, it was 3rd and 28. They got 26 of it. And it's a no-brainer now on 4th down.
And they said like to move Cam Ross around. They got him on this single receiver side right there. Just runs a stop route. And a great job. You don't have to get the 1st down. They're trying to get some yards back. And you see the acceleration Cam Ross has after the catch.
17 yak.
I'll put you right in 4th down go per territory.
They brought all the heavies out on this one. Look at this. Timeout.
There was some confusion.
Timeout. JMU.
You see Bob Chesney.
First of the half.
You could see some confusion on the offensive side of the ball right there. You saw it with Barnett, and he's waving Cam Ross. He wasn't sure where he's going. Chesney saw like everybody's not on the same page right now. Let's burn the timeout and get this right.
Yeah, this game kicked off, really, I think we're in a 50-day window of college football every day, and it doesn't get any bigger than SEC, ABC college football on Saturday. Alabama, can they bounce back against South Carolina at noon? Then the Red River rivalry from the Cotton Bowl, 120th edition between Texas and Oklahoma. It'll be capped tonight, 9th-ranked Ole Miss taking on 13th-ranked LSU. All those games on ABC. You know, it's funny, 120th meeting, right? Texas-Oklahoma has been a great rivalry forever. And now because it's in the SEC people are like, oh, this is good. Like, where have you guys been for the last 120 years?
It's always been great.
It's a damn good game regardless of what conference it's in.
Well, I will say this. Alabama's going to be happy they're home. Death Valley on a Saturday night. I mean, home field advantage is so huge.
Who do you have winning?
The Dukes have. They're 55-2 here at home over the last 8 years.
4th down there. That's Purdy. And early spot says he didn't get it. Shane Bruce has had enough. And it's going to be a turnover on downs for Coastal Carolina.
The ball turns over on downs. 1st and 10, Coastal Carolina.
All right, well, they changed possessions. We're going to step aside and go to break. As Shane Bruce, he still has some fight in him. See if Coastal can get something going. 36-7, midway through the 3rd quarter. Shot declares. They don't give up all 28 when it was 3rd and 28. They'll have the ball when we come back. So we got a new thing going here on Thursday night college football. Today and yesterday, Sports Center on the road, my 2 p.m. Sports Center. You were out there with me today.
Giving some sticky nugs away.
Jack nailed cornhole live television. So the 2 p.m. Sports Center, I do that Monday through Thursday with Christine Williamson. And because we're there Monday through Thursday, well, I'm on the road with you Wednesday and Thursday, so we're going to be bringing the show on the road every week through the rest of football season. And Virginia Tech You're up next.
Heading to Blacksburg next Thursday. They need to show out. The students were hanging out, having a great time. Cheerleaders, we had a great crowd there for it.
JMU, they bring it with everything that they do. Big shot downfield, another drop. Cameron Wright.
Vasco's pass incomplete. Intended for number.
You know, they're in the school that loves being a host more than James Madison. You know the college game day stories.
Oh, yeah.
People that said, you reach out to them.
Oh, yeah, they were waiting for us to get there for the Sports Center today. Great crowd, people excited, fired up.
Jason Greenberg did a great job getting that all set up. And again, James Madison welcomed us with open arms. There's Coastal now, their 11th possession, just 6 first downs on the night.
The stat of the day that you just saw right there, which was Vasco's hot start. Then a combination, couple missed throws, a couple of drops, just not in rhythm at all after the first quarter. And a lot of that to this, give JMU's defense a lot of credit for that as well, though.
You know, barring a miracle, you know, Coastal, they lost to Virginia, but JMU kind of had their flat moment a week ago, and maybe Coastal will get this out of their system. It's Braden Bennett still in the backfield, 3rd and 8. Time for that big across the middle. And Vasco tried to hit 18, Kane Borong. Trent Hendrick there.
Great read by Hendrick, falling off. See, trying to the crossing route. He was covering an out route on the outside, and he saw Vasco's eyes come off the out route, come back to the dragger. He reads it, is right there, perfect timing. Keeps his clean hit with the shoulder, doesn't get the penalty, breaks up the pass, gets the defense off the field.
That's the 5th 3 and out for the JMU defense on Coastal. Knight catches it safely, punt of 42 yards. So midway through the 3rd quarter, the Dukes have separated themselves, 36-7. Help people affected by hurricanes Milton and Helene. Donate at redcross.org/ESPN. Help Red Cross respond and help people recover. Your donation enables the Red Cross to prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from these disasters. Coach, we have numerous connections, ties, friends, family in the state of Florida. And what that area and even North Carolina from Helene, what those areas have been through over the past 10 days is just, it's not right. But, you know, they'll get back on their feet. So anything you can do to help them is certainly greatly appreciated.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers with everyone down in Florida with the back-to-back storms. Just unprecedented.
That's Petaway off the right side. You know, we were in one.
We were in App State, a couple in Boone, North Carolina, and that town was devastated.
Yep. We were just in Boone a couple of weeks ago. Fell in love with it. First time we'd ever been there. Just gorgeous out there in the Appalachian Mountains, and what they're still going through, and it's amazing. You know, Sean Clark, head coach App State, put out a video shortly after Helene blew through there, and you really get the sense of community when people are battling tragedy together, and the role that App State football could play as Purdy goes right up the middle. He's going to get the first down just because it means so much in that community. You know,
yeah, you felt it while you were there, and then the student body, the town rallies around that team, and it gives you something to lean on, your love of the football program.
And we say that all the time with sports. It's an escape, right?
Yeah.
Wins and losses mean a lot, and certainly it's important, but you don't realize what sports is throughout history, what they've done for us when we need it most. So certainly we were thinking about everybody in these regions, especially Florida last night, who got hit pretty hard again by Milton. That's a set up perfectly. Petaway had space and blockers, so an incomplete pass, second down. So I was going to ask you when we were doing the rankings a little bit ago, you give me an Ole Miss LSU pick, what do you think's going to happen?
Oof. I'm not ready on that one.
You're not ready, okay.
But I'll say this. The interesting one, Ole Miss, it's so much Lane Kiffin, the offense. And that offense has been stifled the last couple weeks.
Yep.
You know, they had the win against South Carolina, but didn't look explosive. Kentucky slowed them down. But that Ole Miss defense is good.
Trying to string it outside. That's a good job there by Wayne Knight. And we're getting to the point in the season. You take a look at tonight's quarterbacks. You know, Ethan Vasco came in, or I'm sorry, we're doing the Ole Miss
Jackson
LSU.
Dart, Garrett Nessmeyer. As you're saying, the Jackson Dart, but a lot of those numbers now were put up against non-conference opponents. They didn't have the toughest schedule. Nessmeyer's been impressive this year, and they're going to have to score on that Ole Miss team. Ole Miss is going to come away with some points.
Yes.
So they're going to, but you know, Ole Miss only giving up 7 points a game. LSU is going to have to put up some points. But I mean, listen, not many people go into Death Valley on a Saturday night and come away with a win, and they're going to, Ole Miss is going to have their hands full. That is a, if you've never been there.
Yeah. Oh, it's special. It's a special place. That's a good tackle, by the way. 55, Trey Brown on 3rd and short. So Coastal forces another punt. But yeah, Baton Rouge at night. And look, Brian Kelly's team, I mean, they've kind of been hiding a little bit since week 1 against USC.
Yeah.
1 loss on the season, hiding out, trying to get things right with Nussmeier in the offense. Defense had some injuries. Harold Perkins out for the year. LSU still has the best offensive line in the country. They can get themselves right back into the conversation with the win over Ole Miss on Saturday.
Absolutely, and their loss is a non-conference loss. And
it's Taylor making a couple men miss. It's a guy Tim Beck said he'll outrun anyone. Trey Taylor gain a 17, return to 17 after a punt to 45. But now we're getting to now we're cooking, because here we are going into week 7, October 10th. Now, middle of October, you get through some of those sluggish non-conference slates. Now we're going to start learning about a lot of people. I mean, if you've got warts that are about to be exposed, if you've got deficiencies, if you're this is it. We're there.
We are, and you saw it last week. And margins for error are going to start disappearing for teams to compete for conference championships and playoff opportunities.
The Coastal's made a switch at quarterback. Noah Kim now in for the Chanticleers, beat out in the preseason. He comes in from Michigan State. He fires his first pass to Seneca McKee and a gain of 9. So Coach Beck just trying to do something maybe to get a spark in this offense here for the last quarter.
Yeah, I mean, leadership, somebody come in, try to do it. I don't see them making a long-term change, but also give Kim the reps, see if he can create some energy within the offense and get some things going.
Well, it's already a positive. It's their first down in a while, so they got that going for them after a gain of 3.
They came out of the gates fast.
They did, man. He looked at that deep ball to 8, Jamison Tucker.
Was throwing some darts, and it just, the JMU defense adjusted. Shut him down, and then momentum just went the opposite way with the explosive offense JMU has.
You've been on the sidelines forever. Is there such a thing as that's Taylor trying to make a few men miss? Is there such a thing where it's just not your night? I mean, it seems pretty simplistic, right?
I've had it once or twice.
I mean, these are college students.
But and I say that once or twice, not very often. But there's every once in a while you look, and you're just like, but can anything else just go wrong for us in a situation? But you know what? The Dukes have had Coastal's number now for the last several years, and that can get in your head. The ability, we were saying you're playing somebody and say, hey, they've beat us the last couple years, beating us pretty good. This is our year. But and you just kind of, all of a sudden when things start slipping, you say, here we go again.
Yeah, 3-1 against Coastal, and you talk about it. And even more so since 2000, JMU's 19-3 following a loss. And so it doesn't stick off, and now 3rd and short. That's going to be a first down, Braden Bennett. I wonder, too, back to the big picture conversation going into the weekend. I wonder if there's a team out there that we're not talking about right now that we're going to be talking about in the next 3 weeks. I have an idea of who it might be.
Timeout. Officials timeout.
See an injured player down for JMU. I'm wondering if there's a team out there, because look, we see it all the time, especially in the college football playoff era. Now that there's 12 teams in, we know as Emmanuel Bush will be looked at by the trainer. You see Bob Chesney head out there to look at his player. We know that more teams get in, there's going to be more of an opportunity, which brings more teams into the conversation. So there's going to be one now as we get mid-October that's maybe ranked 15th to 20th that we're not talking about, that's going to find their way up into the conversation by the end of the month. Right. I think Iowa State's a contender.
Interesting.
I think Iowa State's a team out of the Big 12 we're not hearing a lot about. They're undefeated. Rocco Beck's playing well. They've got a great running game. They got everything you need. Abu Sama, one of the guys.
They play defense.
Yeah, I mean that's one to watch.
That's a good one right there. That is a good one.
Because the Big 12 is kind of open. I think they've got the potential to be kind of a dog-eat-dog conference because there's a lot of parity.
Yeah, Oklahoma State being one of the favorites coming in.
They're lost.
Yeah, it's.
But I think Iowa State you have to look out for. A team that
BYU in that league too has been intriguing, coming from nowhere this year, playing winning football, and
they, you know what, they'll beat that. Like they'll physically beat the hell out of you. Yeah,
they're going to be a physical crew.
I mean, they're going to get you. Kalani Sitake, if he's done one thing in his tenure there, I mean, they will. It's like Utah.
Yeah, there's a lot of bruises in the Big 12 when you got to go play Utah or BYU. You know that's going to be a physical deal.
You know who I'm excited to see in the big spot, because they've been so close. There's a first down, Coastal. Kim bobbles the snap, ball still down, and he just dives on it. The team that I believe needs to finally show up in October and November, Penn State.
Yeah.
It's your time.
They have a favorable schedule this year. As you look at the snap with Kim, this is what you want to get him his reps too. Just mishandling the snap, and kind of you're not always used to being out there with the ones, play with a center. You see the times off on that snap.
That's another one. Yeah, and Heston Edwards was the new center tonight because of some injuries. We hadn't seen it be a factor until then, and that play is going to take us to the fourth quarter, kind of a microcosm of the night for Coastal Carolina. So just not the night for Coastal. It is all JMU, 36-7, end of 3. College football prime time presented by Twisted Tea. Don't get scared. Tonight's game ball delivered by the Third Dimension Production Skydiving Exhibition Team, based out of Skydive Orange in Orange, Virginia. I mean,
they came in hot.
Just watching that, I need to wear a diaper. That's impressive. So it's Kim's game the rest of the way. Throws across his body, 3rd and long, 3rd and 22. Eric O'Neal, the pressure, going to be a punt. You said before the game you wanted to skydive?
That was one of those when you're young, my bucket list deals. I'd love to go skydiving.
Why?
Because when you're young, it seems like a cool thing. Every year, it seems to fall further and further down my bucket list of ideas.
There's zero chance. Like, that never sounded fun to me.
Come on.
Ever?
Never?
No.
Oh. Coaching a football game sometimes feels like a 3-hour free.
Ymir Knight. He's been close to breaking one again there. 42-yard punt, 33-yard return. Avion Jones brings him down. He's been a good player tonight, has Ymir Knight this season. All-State will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State. You know the crowd that I don't get, by the way? As we talk about the skydivers, I don't get the crowd. We love you too. You guys have been great to us. We'll come back to JMU anytime. The bungee jumping crowd.
Yeah, that's
Like,
that's falling way down the list,
what
too.
the hell would make you want to jump off something with a rope without any...
To get bounced back up and...
Yeah.
Yeah. I think those guys that came in the stadium, they were talking, that was like his 6,000th jump.
Barnett's still in the game, up 36-7. Juan Powell pressuring him. I mean, in doing that at night, that skydiving at night.
He landed it perfectly. Yeah, the bungee jumping's falling way down the list too, Matt.
You know, I don't even like zip line.
Oh, that's fun.
Not into it.
Really? That's kind of a cool
You're
deal.
putting a lot of trust in the people that put together the line and the thing you're strapped to. Nice play there by DeMonte Diggs. I'm not. It's funny because I am an adrenaline junkie, but I'm not going to get it from that kind of thing. That makes sense?
You're more like, let's play a really nice golf course adrenaline?
Give me some golf courses. You know, I like
surfing.
No, not a surfer. I know it doesn't add up. You'd think if someone liked adrenaline, it'd be doing all that stupid stuff, but not into the thrill seeking. I sound like Walter Mitty. Just not wanting to do anything. 3rd and 9. Barnett, Purdy, trying to make a man miss.
But, and you've seen them, you're saying, hey, why are they still in? We talked, Bob Chesney came out, we want to talk about finishing.
Yeah.
Aggressive and finish. Hey, guys, you know.
I am surprised about Barnett.
I think the game's in hand.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that.
But you still want to actually sit there and say, guys, let's continue to execute. We cannot get sloppy. We can't fall asleep.
In 4th and 5, they're gonna still be aggressive. But conference game is 5 for 14 on the season on 4th down. See if they even go for a play clock down at 2-1. So they'll
take the flag.
Delay game. Offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Yeah, these are the tricky ones as a head coach. You're on Bob Chesney's side. You want to coach your team to finish. Didn't do that last week.
Yep.
But you also want to get out of here.
You want to get out of here. You want to keep guys healthy.
And that's the same thing on Coastal Carolina's side. You don't want to throw in the towel, but you're also like, I mean, it's 36-7.
It's a long season. There's a lot to play for. It's still early in the conference schedule. You want to keep guys healthy. You want to execute, but you're still coaching the guys. You'll say, hey, you know, focus not just on the scoreboard, on executing and the perfection of the next play. You know, and you preach that in like a close game. It's easy to talk about, but this is a similar, hey, it doesn't matter. Pay attention and execute the next play.
We did our sports center on the road out by the Duke Dog statue today. They're decorating him. Pom-poms left. That's about all that's here. 36-7.
What happens on this field just resonates forever in this rivalry.
There's the blitz. Baker Mayfield does it. Monetized touchdown. A Red River rivalry is heated up.
It is my favorite game in college football. I had the good fortune Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on ABC, coming up in my local TV stops. I was in Lawton, Oklahoma, which is an Oklahoma market. We'd go to all their games. That's when Bob Stoops, obviously, was the head coach, but the quarterback. I went to the Red River rivalry twice there. Jason White was the quarterback in one of the games we went to, won the Heisman Trophy. Following year, Adrian Peterson was a true freshman. I saw Vince Young in that game. I mean, I've been to 6 of them because then I was in Dallas, Texas, and obviously it's in Dallas. It is the best game in college football.
Is it? I've never been.
The Cotton Bowl split, literally 50-50. Burnt orange one side, crimson and cream on the other.
They split it by sideways, or is it down the goalpost?
It's down the middle, like
at the
down the
50-yard line.
I mean, it is a special.
So I've been in Florida, Georgia. They split it by the goalposts.
I mean, it's at the State Fair, and another. The receivers having a hard night.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole place smells like fried food because it's at the State Fair at Texas. And Quinn Ewers back.
He's back
For Sark in Texas. Arch Manning, great job, 2 starts, but that Texas offense they're flying.
They are, and Quinn's the guy. And you know what? Arch got to come in, provide the depth. You see the depth they have, got the experience for them, and now he's ready in case they need him down the stretch. But it's Quinn Ewers' team. They're an explosive offense, but this is going to be this is a big test. Rivalry games, big test. Throw the records out the window. Oklahoma's tough. You can throw those records. I mean, it is all about this game. For
and
those
Texas has a hard time with Oklahoma recently. I mean, Oklahoma, that's the last thing you, in a season of after a week of chaos, the last thing you want is Brent Venables year
that
2.
defense coming out,
right.
And you know, Quinn's coming off injury, missed a couple games. You got to get back into the rhythm of things. He's a veteran guy, but he's still got to get back into the rhythm of game speed.
Punting out of his own end zone. Sebafundi, he's been active tonight. Flag on the play. Should we get Joey Galloway, to call in on a phoner, or we can just do college football final here for the rest of the 4th quarter? Just talk ball.
We'll go talk some ball. Love talking ball.
Offside, defense, number 33. Jumping in the neutral zone, causing the offense to react. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
I tell you what we don't need, like we need a 6 a.m. flight after one of these Thursday night games. We don't need the 4th quarter to become penalty fest.
And you know who doesn't want that? The coaches on both sidelines. Because, again, guys are getting some opportunities. You earn your opportunity. Show what you can do out there on the field.
Let's play this thing clean, boys. Get out of here. Got some red-eye Jedis coming. 36-7. Hey, they're still having fun. Good for them.
ESPN Thursday Night College Football is presented by the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Please drink responsibly.
FCS champions 2004, 2016, won 11 wins as an FBS, won 11 games rather in 2023 when they came up to FBS. Of course, they've hosted College Game Day 3 times, 2015, 2017, 2023. One of the biggest crowds in show history. Duke Dog and Lee Corso. This is the best one when he came out dressed like James Madison. It lives in JMU lore. The great Lee Corso. There is not a Saturday morning that we haven't grown up with without Lee Corso putting on the headgear. Is Petaway still in? Barnett still in?
I'm surprised that they're at this point.
Petaway with the run.
The last drive, maybe, very beginning of the 4th quarter. But now you're into it.
But now
Here
they're
they come.
making
He's going to make the switch now. We get to see J.C. Evans, the young quarterback. They're excited about it. They were going to have the package for him tonight. Remember, he came in early. There was a false start. I'm excited to see this young freshman.
Remember, Dylan Morris transferred in from Washington, but I was talking to Dean Kennedy prior to the game. They wanted to get JC some reps. Petaway with that run, a new career high, 89 yards. And there's a look at the big fella, JC Evans.
JC Evans.
All right, midway point of the season. I can't believe we're there already. Who in your mind has aced the test? Midway, I sound like we're doing a final exam here in college football final. Yeah.
Well,
who's aced the test so far?
I mean, you have to go with Texas. They had the road game, the tough road game at Michigan. And Michigan's defending national champ. They're not the same team they were last year. But you're still on the road playing the defending national champion.
I think they've shown
still
the most.
a good football team. And very easy to say that they've passed the test. There's not one hiccup on their schedule on what their performance this year.
Tackle by number 55.
Ohio State and Oregon, they've kind of just. I'll give Oregon found a way to beat Boise State. That's their quality. Ohio State, haven't really played anybody yet.
I just think
So they haven't taken the test yet.
Now, Billy Atkins now in at quarterback, so J.C. Evans was in for 2, so they're just going down the depth chart. I think Ohio State has the roster and the potential to be a dominant #1 team in the country. And it's going to come down to Will Howard. That's it.
It is. And you know what's going to be a defense. The defense of Ohio State, I'm excited. I think this is a week you're going to find out a lot about Ohio State. Listen, I know the receivers are talented. The running backs are talented. But if their defense can come out and on the road at Oregon and show a dominating performance, they could jump to be the team to beat with all of that firepower offensively. And then, you know, eventually, though, it might come to Will Howard's shoulders, and he's going to have to win games at some point for him.
You know, we haven't seen, that's right up the middle. Big gain there out of number 25, Wayne Knight for 23. We haven't seen the best of Oregon yet either.
No.
They're loaded.
They have a lot of talent. That's why I'm excited at firepower. Nice little counterplay here. Still going out. This is what you want to see as a coach. Guys getting opportunities. We're going to put you in the game. You just call it chance, man. Somebody here. I'm a chance coach. Give me a chance. Give me a chance. Don't just tell me what you can do. Here it is on the game field. Hey, we might have a big lead, but go show me. You're getting your game reps. Execute at a high level.
Wayne Knight, 5'7", 184 pounds. Aaron Sproul's starter kit. Give it to Knight again. That hangs out down low. Yeah, Oregon, I think this is Dan Lanny's best team yet.
Yeah.
That's a good, we said this about Alabama and Georgia after that game. This could be, for sure, one of 2 times Ohio State and Oregon play, because they meet here and then in the Big Ten Championship. Playoff bracket goes right. There's potential, some of these big games, you could see 2 or 3 times.
Well, the team you mentioned earlier, Penn State has a test at USC this weekend. If they pass that test, the schedule's favorable to potentially, even they got to play Ohio State, if they don't get over that, just to get to that championship game.
You know, it drives me absolutely nuts.
What's that?
Hold on, I'll tell you in a second.
Big guys coming down.
J.C. Evans. So, because of realignment, that makes absolutely 0 sense. This is the 3rd week in a row we've had a game that would have been an amazing Rose Bowl. An amazing Rose Bowl game that's a conference game. Like Penn State USC
embrace the new
needs
world
to
of
be
college
played
football.
in the Rose Bowl, not mid-season as a Big Ten game.
In the Coliseum.
Great, played in the Rose Bowl. But you're right, big one for James Franklin. I mean, they go 10-2 every year, and now that could get them in the playoff.
Again, you're talking like to get to the conference championship game. Ohio State or Oregon's walking out the door with a loss this weekend. That's 1.
Yep.
And you're 2 behind the team that you just lost to.
That's right.
Because they have the tie-break head-to-head.
There goes Billy Atkins, flag down. Big Ten, that's an interesting league this year. I mean, Indiana 6-0. Former JMU coach Kurt Signetti's got the Hoosiers playing good ball.
They have a favorable schedule.
They're ranked 18th. Ohio State 2nd. Oregon 3rd. Penn State 4th. So
illegal shift, offense. 2 players moving and didn't get set. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
Look, I know SEC, they've got it too, but the Big Ten's got 2, 3, and 4 in the country.
Yeah. Pounding their chest with that, and Indiana is the next team.
I mean,
I think it's the depth of the SEC, though, still top to bottom.
Yes.
You know, is when you start going matchup, the last team in the Big Ten, start going head-to-head, you take last place of every team and look at the head-to-head, and I bet you're going to go with the SEC is going to come out with the win on top.
Well, I mean, I don't mean this to be disrespectful, but Vanderbilt's been the doormat in the SEC forever, and they just beat Alabama.
Yeah.
So, like, even the bad, I mean, now, apologies as J.C. Evans tries to get the run again. Now it's Mississippi State.
Yep.
It's at the bottom of the league right now. But otherwise, I mean, South Carolina struggled a little bit. Kentucky got the big win. So you're right, top to bottom. If you look at the Big Ten, Purdue is not great. UCLA is bottoming out. I mean, there's some teams down there at the bottom, but the SEC, Diego Pavia and what they were able to do.
He's a fun guy to watch. The toughness, just kind of you talk about winners.
Lipinski on for a 35-yard field goal attempt. On the way, it is good. So 39-7. You see Kurt Signetti, some of these coaches come through here. Mike Houston, he's at ECU, but certainly successful run for coaches here at JMU. ESPN Plus, home for more than 50 Sun Belt football games this season. Here's Saturday's featured matchups. Georgia State hosting Old Dominion, 3:30. Louisiana Monroe, they came off the big win last week. They host Southern Miss. If you're a Sun Belt fan, go to ESPNplus.com to sign up. Right now, Coastal Carolina, they were at 1-0 in the Sun Belt East. They'll drop to 1-1. JMU will move up to 1-1. You know, start of the fourth quarter, everybody's got their thing, right? The start of the fourth quarter, every stadium has their own tradition. Here they were doing karaoke at the start of the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because karaoke seems to be going around here in Harrisonburg.
It's a great karaoke town, right?
It really is. And last night, oh, Dan Mullen was up there leading the charge. Karaoke with, what were you singing?
A little Don't Stop Believing for everybody. You jumped in there, Matt was jumping in there.
I mean, Mullen was holding it down. And here's a true story about what happened last night with Dan Mullen and karaoke. He had the entire place up watching and listening to him sing. I think it was a duet, a trio, whatever you call that. The second Mullen was done performing for the beautiful people,
they cleared it out.
Place empty.
Once they saw it, once they came for the main show, and then they saw it and they headed out.
I mean, he was like the main attraction, and then everybody left.
Of course.
And we left. I'm like, Mullen, you know, everyone was there to see you sing.
Well, that's what it was. I bet right now the karaoke's rocking because all the students have already headed out.
Oh, my goodness. That play, Ruby's is going. Design run here for Kim. Is that your go-to?
I didn't even pick it.
No, but is that your, like,
a go-to song?
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I love it. Obviously, a tradition we started at Mississippi. They played that song in the start of the fourth quarter at Mississippi State. So that's always a fun one. I mean, listen, is there a better? If that song comes on, you're driving in the car when you're driving back to up to get on the plane to like head back to DC to stay tonight for the flight in the morning. If Don't Stop Believing comes on the radio, don't tell me you're not belting it out driving down the road.
I'm letting it rip. I'm letting it rip. You know what else? Undercard, good karaoke song. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Great. Oh, you're going to belt that one out.
Yeah, you're going
to. You should do a list. I heard that, speaking of coming up with playlists, that maybe there's somebody on a No Shoes Radio.
Yeah, I got to
get this out of our crew. One of us done it.
You've already done it.
That might be doing maybe a little guest DJ.
I'll be doing a guest DJ. Yeah, we'll get that set up. You know
I'm going to tell you what. That is, when they do that, this is a fun one. Not just for that. Write down songs. You need to get a list of songs. Write down songs that are important to you. And write down the reason why they're important to you.
Yeah, because when you did his flag on the play, when you did your guest DJ there on the No Shoes Radio, that's what you did. You would do the songs I listened to. It was right before the holidays last year. You would pick the song, and then you would let the people know why you picked the song.
Yeah, that's why.
How many did you pick in total?
It's not a set number. I want to say I might have had 13.
All right, so they're doing it in fraction.
I might have 12 or 13, maybe 14.
And Don't Stop Believing was in there.
That was in there.
Yeah.
That was in there. And you know what, though? But it is a great challenge. Everybody out there, just try it sometime. Write down songs that are important or have meaning to you in your life and why you do it. Not whether you're doing a radio show or not. Just do it. It's a lot of fun. And all of a sudden, it's really going to kind of hit home some different songs. And I would do it again and try to even create a second list. You'll start rolling. You'll be like, Well, there's a lot of songs that have a lot of meaning in my life.
But you know what I've always said about music? That's just it. You can take a song and hear it, and at least for me, it'll take you back to the year, the time, and what was going on in my life.
Absolutely.
And that's the great thing about music. All right, well, we've talked music. Any movie reviews or show reviews you want to do? So we will take the Thursday night, industry night, college football party to the ACC for the next couple of weeks. We'll be at Virginia Tech for their big game against BC.
That'll be a fun one.
Listen, year one for Bill O'Brien up at Chestnut Hill, man. He's got some ball players.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas Castellanos back in that lineup. He is an exciting player to watch. His playmaking ability is a lot of fun. Virginia Tech, a team that we expected a lot out of. A couple heartbreaking losses for them so far on the season, but still a lot of talent on that roster.
It was Joby Mallory there.
Tootin and
Aaron
Drones,
Jalen Lane. I mean, that's a team some of us in this booth were high on coming into the season. Maybe a potential ACC champion college football
in the top 4 seeds.
Party crasher. That's it. Well, you bring that up with the college football playoff. There's going to be a Big 12 champion, and all due respect to the Big 12 champion, or maybe even the ACC champion, if one of them comes in with a loss, that could be ranked outside the top 4, but because they're one of the highest ranked conference champions, they're going to get a top 4 seed.
Get that bid, get that bye.
I mean, you think that the 12-team playoff is going to solve everything. College football fans will find anything to complain about. It'll still be fun. 2-minute timeout.
Timeout is brought to you by your locally owned Domino.
All right, so what's in store for the rest of the season for JMU? They've got Georgia Southern October 19th, the 26th Southern Miss. Favorable look. I know a lot of stuff can happen, but JMU has got to feel really good about themselves, at least in the month of October, to get to November with a really good shot to come out of the Sun Belt East.
Absolutely, and like we said, they're going to go to 56-2 at home here over the last 8 years. This is a tough place to come play. That tough road test at ODU and at App State late in the year could be really interesting.
I'll take you one step further. They'll go 13-2 at home since joining the FBS, but what a night for Barnett in this offense. 3 touchdown passes, a touchdown run for him, 4 total TVs, completions to 9 different receivers. Head away a career night. The JMU defense, 7 points allowed, 8 first downs allowed, and 3 of 14 on third downs, plus the pick 6. So it's complete dominance. It's a complete performance.
You watch them. I mean, in every phase, we're really good in the punt return game. Almost had a blocked punt. You know, the PAT team comes out for the 3rd time this year, fakes a PAT and gets a 2-point conversion. They are a complete football team and are going to be, I mean, at this point of the year, you have to say, watching their performance tonight, how they responded from the loss, have to be the favorites in the East in the Sun Belt moving forward.
And you just wonder, you go back to last week, I mean, we talk about it happening, and it happened at JMU last week. They just didn't bring it. But they certainly did that and more tonight at home. 20-3 following losses. And Bob Chesney said, look, we're going to find out a lot about the culture we're building here because we just came off a disappointing loss. What can my team bring at home? Well, they brought complete domination. And a coach who I believe is shooting up the ranks as a star.
Really is. Really impressed with him, his staff, the program they're building here, his success he's had through the years. This is a very well-coached team in every phase of the game. Fun to watch, and they have some dynamic playmakers. You know, when Barnett went 4 touchdowns, kind of an average night for him with some of the performances he's put up this year. Watch out for JMU as this season rolls on.
It has gone final 39-7. JMU came in here, and Tim Beck gets handed his first conference loss of the year, now 4-2 on the season. But yeah, complete performance out of Alonzo Barnett. Good to see them back to where they were prior to last week.
Absolutely, and they did a great job moving the ball around. They have a lot of different weapons. Barnett spreads the ball to all his different receivers and the big tight end. Then when he can pull the ball down, make you miss, get physical, run into the end zone, and it was everything. It was short pass. It was a long pass. Extend the play, eyes downfield. I thought they played a complete game today.
Harry.
Alonzo, 199 passing yards, 4 total touchdowns tonight. What worked for you guys offensively?
First off, you know, we left a lot of points out on the table, but we played great football in all 3 phases. I think everybody just did their job, play in, play out, and that really helped us succeed tonight.
Talking to your teammates this week, they talked about resiliency. They talked about showing a better effort this week than you guys showed last week. What did you guys show tonight, and what does it say about this JMU program?
We fought. We executed better this week. We run our one-on-one battles, and I think that showed in the end result.
Go enjoy this one.
Thank you.
Harry, thank you. Great job by Alonzo Barnett and this JMU team coming out and getting the win 39-7. So we will be in Blacksburg next week for a little ACC Thursday night football. Really appreciate everybody hanging out with us. For Harry Lyles down on the field, Dan Mullen and Matt Berry up here in the booth. It was all JMU tonight, 39-7. Thanks for watching. Good night from Harrisonburg, and enjoy a remarkable college football weekend on the way.